This is what global trade looks like. Endless ocean, no borders, no limits. Ships can go anywhere, anytime, but almost all of them don't. They are forced through here, the Strait of Gibraltar. At first glance, this seems simple. The Atlantic Ocean meets the Mediterranean through a passage just 14 kilometers wide. If you want to move goods between them, you pass through here. Europe, North Africa, the Middle East, all connected by this one narrow gate. So it all makes sense, right? This is just a shortcut, a faster way in, a faster way out, a useful piece of geography. Nothing more. That's what it looks like, until you notice something strange. But this isn't just a shortcut, because when movement is forced through one place, that place becomes power. In 1704, something changed. A fleet seized this rock and held it. Not because it was big, not because it was rich, but because of where it sat. And more than 300 years later, they are still there. Because controlling Gibraltar means controlling who enters and who leaves. Trade, military fleets, energy supply, all of it funnels through this gap. This isn't a landmark. It's a valve. Every day, oil tankers leave the Middle East, fueling entire economies in Europe. Goods from Asia flow into the Mediterranean, feeding cities, industries, entire nations. And almost all of it has to pass through here. The Suez Canal brings the world in, but there's only one way out, and it's this. If the Suez is the shortcut, Gibraltar is the exit. So by now, it makes sense. A narrow passage, a strategic position. Control the rock, control the flow. That's the story. Or at least, that's what it looks like. So that's it. Control the rock, control the flow. A strategic position, a powerful location, a gatekeeper of global trade. Simple. But here's the part nobody tells you. Gibraltar doesn't control trade because it's powerful. It's powerful because nothing can avoid it. These routes, they were never designed. They were discovered. And once the world found the easiest path, it never changed them. What looks like modern global trade is actually ancient geography, still in control. Because once global trade finds a path, everything else builds around it. Ports become cities. Cities become power. And power becomes permanent. Built on trade, fueled by control of movement. Timbuktu, a hub of salt and gold, rising from the roots that crossed the desert. Liverpool, expanded through trade, rooted in the same pathways that came before it. Different continents, different empires, same pattern. We didn't redesign the system. We just upgraded it. Faster ships, bigger ports, modern infrastructure. But the roots, they stayed the same. Which means something deeper is happening here. This isn't just about one rock or one narrow passage. It's about a system that was never meant to be flexible. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Trade doesn't spread out, it compresses. Because the world isn't flat, it's full of narrow passages, places you have to pass through. And every time that happens, control appears. The Strait of Hormuz, Panama Canal, different locations, same rule. Narrow points become control points. Control points become power. And suddenly, a small rock doesn't look so small anymore. The world isn't controlled by size. It's controlled by position. So, let's go back to that rock. It doesn't control global trade because it's powerful. It's powerful because everything else has no choice. Not the ships, not the countries, not even the empires that hold it. The system decides. So when you see ships crossing the ocean, you're not watching freedom. You're watching traffic, forced through a gate that's been there for centuries. Nothing changed. We just go faster.